This is the Suffolk County Police. May I help you?
We have a shooting here. DeFeo.
Sir, what is your name?
Joey Yeswit.
Can you spell that?
Yeah. Yeswit.
Y-E-S.
Yeswit.
W-I-T. Your phone number?
I don't even know if it's here. I don't have a phone number here.
Okay, where are you calling from?
It's Amityville. Call up the Amityville police, and it's right off of Ocean Avenue in Amityville.
Austin?
Ocean Avenue. What the?
Ocean Avenue? Off of where?
Right off of Merrick Road, Ocean Avenue.
Merrick Road. What's the problem, sir?
It's a shooting.
There's a shooting. Anybody hurt? Anybody hurt?
Yeah, everyone's dead.
What you mean everybody's dead?
I don't know what happened. Kid comes running into bar. He says everyone in his family was killed, and we came down here.
Hold on a second, sir. I'm gonna pass you over to the officers.
Hello?
Hello.
What's your name?
My name is Joey Yeswit.
George Edwards?
Joey Yeswit.
How do you spell that?
What? How many times do I have to spell it? Yeswit.
Where are you at?
I'm on Ocean Avenue.
What number?
I don't have a number here. There's no number on the phone.
What number on the house?
I don't even know that.
Where are you at? Ocean Avenue and what?
In Amityville. Call up the Amityville police. We have someone come down here. They're the family you know.
Amityville?
Yes, Amityville.
Okay, now tell me what's wrong.
I don't know. Guy comes running into bar. Guy in the bar says that his mother and father are shot. We ran down to his house. Everyone in his house is shot. I don't know how long, so
what's the ad? What's the address of the house?
Hold on. Let me go look up the number. All right, hold on. 112 Ocean Avenue, Amityville.
Is that Amityville or North Amityville?
Amityville, right on south of Merrick Road.
Is that right in the village limits?
It's in the village limit, yeah.
Okay. What's your phone number?
I don't even have one. There's no number on the phone.
All right. Where are you calling from? Public phone?
No, I'm calling right from the house because I don't see a number on the phone.
You're at the house itself?
Yeah.
How many bodies are there?
I think, I don't know. I think they said 4.
There's 4?
Yeah.
All right. You stay right there at the house, and I'll call Amityville PD, and they'll come your way.
You might be asking you guys yourself, what did you just hear? Well, we reenacted the 911 call from Amityville Horror House Murder.
What up, guys? It's your boy Bear. I'm here with
Odd Phantom.
And today we're going to be talking about the Amityville Horror.
Episode 12.
I think it's 11.
It's 12, I think.
Either way. So what up, guys? So we're here.
We're going to be talking about the Amityville Horror Murder. The DeFeos. 6 people were murdered in the house of Amityville. We're going to give you...
I thought it was 4.
It was 6. In total, it was a mom, the dad...
The 2 brothers?
And the 4 siblings.
Yeah.
There was 4 siblings, so that's 6. Mom, dad,
that's right.
4.
Yeah.
There was 7 in total.
Yeah.
George DeFeo was the one that caused the murders.
That was alive, pretty much.
So, on what was it? What was the date again that it all happened?
The day happened. Give me 1 second. It was It was 6:30, November 13, 1964.
Okay, so this guy, that's what we'll call him, Guy George DeFeo. He murdered his family in cold blood.
It's Ronald DeFeo.
Oh, sorry, Ronald DeFeo murdered his family in cold blood.
Allegedly.
Well, yes, because there's a lot of like hocus pocus going around about the house. Saying that it was haunted. It was buried under
Indian cemetery.
Yeah, cemetery. I mean, we have our theories, and then we'll give you
some of the theories that we've read.
And yes, some of the theories we read, but also we'll break it down like what happened, at the house and what the police said. So we'll begin with our theories. Then after we'll tell you what happened in the house that day.
Okay. So you want to go first, or?
That doesn't matter.
I'll go for it.
Okay. So, I mean, as far as a lot of research that I've been doing, not only because of Amityville Horror, but because of the podcast we have, I do believe that houses can be possessed. I've seen, videos of, of they exercising the house. I mean, our grandmother's house, we had to come and bring a priest, because there was this baby haunting all the time,
Yeah, but he didn't exercise it. He didn't want to exercise it, actually.
There's houses that priests don't even want to exercise.
Well, remember, I don't know if you remember, I know, sorry to interrupt you, but remember our apartment complex? When we brought the priest over where we used to live, on Drucker Street, we brought a priest, and he didn't want to...
I don't remember. I was probably young.
Well, you're probably younger than... well, yeah, I'm older than you. Yeah, the priest came, and he told us that if you were to try to exercise the spirit that he felt there, that it would go worse for us. So he said that it's better just to leave it alone.
Well, a lot of times, they don't like to be messed with. So
Yeah.
when you mess with something, they just start like, I wouldn't say, like they take it the wrong way. Like if I'm not doing nothing to you, don't do nothing to me, kind of thing. But there's a lot of times with spirits or whatever, like that died in the house, they just chill there,
Yeah.
because I don't know, they can't seem to move on or whatever. I mean, when I used to work over there was a spot at my job. I would talk a lot to the cleaning crew that worked there. They were telling me like, oh, this guy, he had a heart attack right here and he died. And they would give me their stories about how they would hear like noises and people talking, and that they've seen apparitions and stuff, appear on them. So a lot of times, like even like workplaces, these spirits like still stay there, in that building, like attached to it,
Yeah.
So I feel like I don't think because there's a lot of theories going around, but one of the theories was that he was not himself.
Hold on, we're not giving the theory yet. We're giving your
No,
opinion.
okay, yeah, my opinion. Well, I'm saying this is my opinion.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, well, because technically, I mean, it was influenced by the theory, but this is my opinion.
Yeah.
That he was not himself. That he was controlled by something, not like brainwashed, but like something. Like a spirit took over him, or a demon, possessed his body to make him commit the crimes that he did. That's my theory, because it could happen. It could happen. Somebody can be taken over and made to do things that they don't want to do.
Yeah, I get you.
So I mean, I believe he probably could have.
Yeah.
But there's nothing that I've read that can convince me that could happen. I'm not saying it can't happen. You get me? Like I'm pretty sure there, like cases around the world or something like that, it could have happened.
Yeah.
But in this case, I just think he was a cold-blooded murderer.
That's what you think?
That's what I think.
Okay. So me personally, I don't think it was what you were saying, a cold-blooded murder.
Agree to disagree.
No, I'm gonna give you some facts here.
Oh, all right. Spit the facts.
So, this is getting a little bit into depth, but this is what made me convinced that it wasn't just a murder, right? So where they lived around other people, right? So any type of noise.
but that's explaining the story. We don't want to.
I'm just giving the theory of what I mean. I'm just like giving them like a picture of how
it
they
happened.
live.
Okay.
So you imagine yourself in a house that you can hear your neighbors arguing, right?
And it was at 2 a.m, correct?
Yeah.
When it happened.
Okay. So the neighbors have always heard them argue. You know what I mean? They always were an upstanding family. Heard them argue. When the gunshots went off, nobody heard anything, and the police officers, they reenacted the shooting in the sense of the type of rifle that he used to allegedly kill his parents.
Well, the bullets matched the
No,
gun, so.
not about matching. They can hear it up to 5 blocks away.
Yeah.
And when the actual gunshot went off, when you figure if you hear 6 gunshots, you're gonna call the police, right? So there was no gunshots heard, so nobody called the police until he admitted. So if you actually think about it, what kind of what I mean, like any type of gunshot you shoot anywhere, you're gonna hear it. So how is it that you're not able to hear the gunshot when it went off when you can hear it, from far away? So that led me to believe that there was something else.
And the gun was a 35 caliber Marlin rifle.
Yeah. So that led me to believe that there was something, either protecting the house in the sense of like, so no noise would get out. You know what I mean? So I think that
the way it goes as well, what they were saying is that these people, these 6 individuals that were murdered, right? I believe it was 5.
No, it's 6.
Okay, no, it was 6. But we'll get into the theory of the
Yeah.
of the why I'm saying 5. But these 6 were all murdered execution style, all face down, right? The only way that he could have done it, so the family couldn't have woken up, is that all these 6 were shot at the same time.
Well,
It had to be at the same time
that's a
because
theory, but-
because I'm saying if you said that the gunshot wound the gunshot from that gun was so loud you can hear it from a mile away. It's surprising that the neighbors couldn't hear it, and not only that, but the people living inside the house couldn't hear it. Even
but-
thunder wakes up people
Yeah, but you
that
gotta-
are heavy sleepers.
You got to look at it this way. If you're saying that all 6 are shot at the same time, right?
There had to be more people to play that
Yeah,
there was only one rifle.
Yeah, but that's
He
what
couldn't
I'm-
have had 6 rifles of the same.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Also, too, you got to look at it. There's a lot of things. He could have drugged them all. You know what I mean? But that still doesn't explain.
No, I know, but the toxicology report, because they tried that.
Yeah.
They tested them. They didn't find any
No.
drug,
Yeah,
anything
but
like
I'm just
that.
saying. You know what I mean? Like, it's just a simple fact. 6 shots were fired. Nobody heard a thing.
But I know
Police
that's what I'm saying.
wasn't
But
called,
the toxicology
so
doesn't
answer the question.
I know, but the toxicology report doesn't lie.
No.
They didn't find
I'm
anything.
not saying it doesn't lie, but I'm saying it's like, so how is it? You're saying over here that it's a bloody murder, right?
Yes,
but answers the question: how is it that nobody heard the gunshot when you can hear it up to 5 blocks away? The cops this
up
day,
to a mile.
you know what I mean? The cops to this day still can't explain that. You know what I mean? When they actually fired the rifle, and they actually tested it to see how far you're able to hear. And if you're able to hear your neighbors fighting every single day and not hear any type of gunshot, that's why the police were never called until the young man called the police.
Was there people home around? That's what I'm saying.
Yes, there was, because
okay.
even the neighbors, they
didn't say they didn't hear nothing. Yeah.
They went. The cops
course,
asked the
yeah.
neighbors, and they're no, we didn't hear no gunshots. So they can't explain. How is it? It's a phenomenon to them. How is it that?
Well, you know
6
what?
people
How
were
about
shot?
this? How about this theory? If you live next to a family, right, that it's always arguing, always causing ruckus, has a drug addicted son that's always causing mayhem, if you hear them kill each other, would you care?
Yes, because they're people. At the end of the day, they're people, and then you also have to look.
So
at
if they fuck with like saying like they always cause you trouble as well, you would still care.
Yeah, because
they killed them.
I look at it this way. Let's say
No,
somebody.
I'm not saying like I would do that, but I'm just saying there's people out there that wouldn't. That's the perspective I'm trying to give you.
No.
There will be
I get your
people-
point of view, but the thing that I found surprising too is that when they interviewed the neighbors were surprised that they were shot because they didn't hear any gunshots, and most of them were light sleepers because they would say we were here arguing up until 2 a.m. You know what I mean? And you can hear it clearly. So when they interviewed them, they were surprised at the fact that they didn't hear anything. And from my understanding, a couple of people were walking by at the time when this was going on. And when you shoot somebody, it's a flash of light that flashes. You know what I mean? Like a bang. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And they said they didn't see anything either. You know what I mean? So to me, I find that like interesting in the fact that they can't explain that. So you figure there's a much higher power at that time. You know what I mean? That's covering, the tracks, you know what I mean, too.
So you think like a spirit can silence a house? I don't know about that, honestly.
If we've heard stories of people getting locked in a house, people having doors slammed behind them.
Yeah, but
You know what I
to
mean? So
be
you
able to
figure-
like create, like you're saying, what you're trying to say, I don't believe like they created a barrier around the house so no sound can get out.
We don't
I
know.
believe
We
it.
don't know. Okay, then why did nobody hear it?
That's what I'm saying. That's
So
what
it's like-
we're here talking
and
about.
then the gun didn't have a silencer. You know what I mean?
Oh, you couldn't put a silencer on that weapon. Anyways.
That's what I'm saying. So it's like, and plus we don't know how powerful spirits are. We don't know what they can do. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but
So-
it hasn't been proven either. What if they can do anything as well.
Well, yeah, but we don't know. It's still a unknown question.
Yeah, that's true.
So you want to talk about the house?
Well, yeah. Well, I want to talk about. We'll name the victims first of the people that died.
Okay.
So the victims, there were 6, like I explained. It was Ronald DeFales Sr.
Mm-hmm.
He was 43 years old. That was the father. He was abusive to his son.
Uh-huh.
He was
To the
abusive.
oldest.
Yeah, to the oldest, which he
Mhm.
was 21 at the time.
Yeah.
The father was abusive to him. He was, the worst. Always screamed at him. His son.
He was like the black sheep
Yeah,
of the family.
his son was a drug addict. He was, he did heroin. He did what is it? What is that drug?
Shrooms.
No, the other one.
Which one?
Not LSD.
Acid.
Acid. Yes,
Acid,
he was a big user of acid. There was a point in time when his father pushed him so far, right? That what is it? He even took a shotgun out on him, and I don't know if my bad. I don't know if it was a rifle or the shotgun.
I think it was a rifle.
But trying to kill his own dad. That's how far he pushed him.
Yeah.
The second victim was sorry guys. The second victim was sorry guys. I lost my train of thought. Okay, was Louis DeFeo.
That's the mother.
That's the mother. She was 42. They had a messed up household. It was broken, I believe that, if the mother sees, their child, even if it's bad, you got to try to help your child out. If he's getting abused or whatever by the dad, you got to do something about it.
And yeah, I get that. But see, the problems actually started when they actually moved into the house because, from, family members and everybody that told them before is that they never really argued up until they moved into the house.
Well, from what I read, that the father was abusive since the beginning. So I don't know. I don't know.
Read different things then, I guess.
Okay. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, we all did our own research, but that's what I read.
Yeah, I get you.
Yeah. So, and then it was the mom and the dad and the 4 children that were murdered.
It was Dawn.
So it was Dawn. She was 18.
Allison.
And that's one of our suspects.
No, it was the youngest one that was.
No, it was Dawn.
It was Dawn?
It was Dawn.
Oh, okay.
Dawn, she was
18?
18. That was one of the suspects.
Okay.
Allison, she was 13.
Okay.
Mark was 12. And John Matthew was 9 years old. These were the victims that were murdered allegedly by
Ronald DeFeo Jr.
Yeah. Because he was only survivor,
Yeah.
And at the beginning when he murdered, when he told the cops, he said somebody murdered his family.
Yeah.
Then when he went to jail, he confessed to murdering his family.
Yeah.
But surprisingly, what my brother, told me was that he kept on changing his story every single time.
Yeah, consistently. Like, the cops would interview him again and again, and he would change the story. So, for them, it was hard. Like, even though they convicted him of the 6 murders, cops found it really hard because he kept on changing his story. He would start off, with this happened. And then, overall, the gist of it was that
but in each of them were shot execution style.
No. I know, but his story, the only thing that never changed in his story is that he says that his family was plotting to kill him. So that's why he said he killed them first.
Yeah. And then, as far as when he was convicted on November 21st, 1975, he was found guilty on 6 counts of second-degree murder. And he was sentenced to 6 concurrent 25-year sentences.
Mm-hmm.
So it was 125 years?
About?
Yeah.
About.
No, my bad. 150 years. Yeah, I'm bad at math, guys. But yeah, he was found guilty. But I mean, because he,
Yeah, he killed
them. But this is one of my theories, okay? So they point, to Dawn.
Mm-hmm.
Because this is what happened, guys. All the 5 family members except Dawn, were all shot in the back, execution style.
Mm-hmm.
There was blood splatter to show on the bed, on the wall.
Yeah.
To show that these people were murdered here in their rooms. But Dawn, there was no blood splatter in the room where she was supposedly murdered. You get me? If every single family, like I was saying, if every single family,
too, I don't know if you read, Dawn was the only one that had pretty much her whole face blown off from the family members.
Well, it looked like she was in a fight or something like that.
No. Like, I guess she got shot. They were saying that she got shot by something else because she was the only one that had her like full face, like it was in pieces.
Oh, I didn't read that.
Yeah, it was in pieces.
But this is my theory. Yes, John DeFeo, he was a drug addict. He was, heroin. He fought with his family. Everybody sometimes have a broken family.
Yeah.
But my theory is that either Dawn helped him murder. The thing is, he didn't like his parents.
Yeah.
There was nothing, on record saying that he didn't like his siblings.
Yeah.
You get me? There was nothing on record that he didn't like his siblings, but he despised his parents.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think he could go as far as killing his own, his own brothers and sisters.
Mm.
So this is my theory. DeFeo killed mom, dad, and Don killed the siblings. So when Butch, because this is I guess nickname,
Yeah.
Butch, found out that his sister killed his siblings, I think he killed her. That's theory 1.
Mm-hmm.
Theory 2 is that he convinced Don to help him kill his family members, and then after the job was done, then he's like, I don't have a reason to keep her around either, so he killed her too.
Okay.
Hold on, I got one more.
All right.
I got one more. The last theory is that she killed everyone, and when he found out that she killed everyone, he killed her,
Mm-hmm.
and put it all on himself.
Okay. Well.
Because she could have gone to him like, I don't know what I've done, and then him being the oldest sibling, even if he's 21, saying like, okay, I'll take the blame,
Yeah.
and he's like, kill me the way that I killed them.
Mm-hmm.
It could have been like that. Those are my 3 theories of what could have happened.
Yeah.
Because I mean,
Look,
there had to be somebody to help.
Yeah. This is my only theory. Okay. And it's your third theory, but mine's a little bit more different.
Oh, it's a little bit more
Yeah.
different.
So-
Copycatter.
So I think Don gave Ronald Jr. Well, I'm gonna call him Jr.
Well,
gave
Junior, Butch. Let's say Butch.
Okay.
Because that's
Gave-
his nickname. I
Gave
guess.
Butch. I think Don gave Butch a really strong drug to have him hallucinate, right?
Okay.
There was somebody already investigating the house. He saw Don leave the house with the rifle.
Oh, he did see. Yeah. He did
d-
see.
He, that's what I'm saying. This is my theory. So I think,
I forgot about that.
yeah.
Right,
So
damn.
I think what ended up happening was that's why I told you that
Yeah,
Don
he-
was
he-
the one that got killed, like the worst out of all of them.
Not only that, but yeah, it's true. She did leave
Yeah,
that
so
house.
that's what I'm saying.
So they saw her
Yeah,
with
that's what I'm saying. So
rifle walking out.
this is what I'm saying. So I
before
think
the murder
yeah,
happened.
I think Don. No, after the murder. After the
No,
murder.
it was before the murder.
No, after.
It was before.
It was after.
It was
I'm not. I'm
before,
telling you, it
bro.
was after.
Oh, look, I have the paperwork right here.
Look at it. It was after. So after that, so she walked out of the house, went to the river where they found the rifle at, and she threw it into the lake. Well, a lake, right? So I think what happened is that Butch was really drugged up, and he didn't even notice what his sister had done. And then when he went to it to go see what she'd done, I think that's when he killed her. You know what I mean? And he took the blame for everyone else because also too. Another one was is that the bodies were moved and placed in a particular, form, like you were saying, they were all face down. You know what I
No,
mean?
they were all shot face down.
That's what I'm saying. So they
were all shot. In other words, they were all shot face down.
No. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying.
They didn't turn their bodies over. The ballistics show that they were shot face down.
No.
All
Yeah,
of them.
but they said that they were moved though,
That's
like
what
in
the
the sense.
execution style.
Yeah, they were moved. So that I'm thinking that Don shot all of them. Then when Butch came to it to see what was going on, he found out that maybe he wasn't upset that his mother and father were dead, you know what I mean? But his brothers, like you were saying, he loved them, you know what I mean? So I think she's the one that committed everything. Or maybe let's say she was possessed by something, she did everything. Butch came to it, and Butch, maybe saw something he wasn't supposed to be seeing, you know what I mean? And killed her, and that's why he killed her in that nasty form. And he confessed to everything. Because you figure there's nobody left. You know what I mean? Who are they going to get? He can't say, oh, you know what? I saw a spirit, I saw the devil, or something like that. Because they ain't going to believe him. Especially
Yeah, and then, what is it? You're saying she was shot in the head?
Yeah.
She wasn't shot in the head. It was saying that crime scene investigators discovered that Dawn had suffered a huge head wound.
Oh.
And that brain matter and blood was on her pillow, bedclothes, and nightgown.
Okay.
Yet her whiteboard, just inches from her head, was pristine. Meaning that there was nothing. So the lack of blood spatter was strongly
indicated.
indicated that she had been shot somewhere else.
Yeah.
So
No,
he must have hit her in the head
Mm-hmm.
to put her down, then shoot her in the back. That's why
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. That's the only reason I believe that she's the one that committed the crime. But since he's the only one that left, you figure at that time, right? Let's say you're Butch. You think the cops are gonna believe your story that you didn't shoot nobody? You know what I mean? And then everyone in your house is dead. They're not gonna believe you. You know what I mean? So that's what I think. That's the only story that I find to be believable, and it's just like you were saying. just in the position of the way she was found. You know what I mean? So I think that she's the one. And then you figure they saw her with the rifle. You know what I mean? So it's like, how is it when the cops went to go look for it? It was where she threw it. You know. So I believe that she's the one. She was the mastermind behind it. And when he came to it to figure out what happened, he couldn't live with himself, so he ended up killing her. You know. That's what I think, and I think that's the only theory to me that I've read a bunch of them. You know what I mean? That's the only one, that I feel to be, I guess, the strongest, just because they actually saw her with the rifle. You know?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, that's my only theory, and you know what I mean. It's messed up what happened. And like I said, I think she actually gave him, because at the time he was, when they did his blood work, he was drugged. You know what I mean? And they had asked him.
His toxicology was like he was drugged. But what I was reading right here was that hold on, give me a second, let me find it. So it says they had the DEA scoping the place because they pretty much the drug enforcement agency backs up the story that he told Morgan that someone from the DEA actually had the house under surveillance the night of the murders due to suspicion that Butch had been smuggling drugs on his boat. But also Don, accordingly by the reporter, right, that Don was often spotted by neighbors wearing a black snorkel style coat, like you said. Okay, so they caught her, and the neighbor said that they would always see her with that coat, the black coat. And right here is saying that Butch DeFeo, allegedly said that somebody in a black figure, a black figure. He was high, so a black figure handed him a rifle. Yeah. So maybe he could have thought that it was a demon. That demon, saying, "Oh, kill my family," but it wasn't. It was Don, the one doing it.
That's what I'm saying. I think she gave him the rifle, you know what I mean, to put his fingerprints on it, because when they ran everything, it all came back to him. Yeah. You know what I mean? But
let me read this, guy. Let me read this for you guys, okay? So, pretty much, this is why we're saying it's weird the way it happened. They all died, I wouldn't say simultaneously, but it had to happen in order for them. Because if you shoot, the wife, right?
The dad's going to get
up. The dad's going to get up. He's going to move no matter what. So how do they all get shot face down? So this is how it happens, right? So it says like this. Several investigators and authors have suggested Butch DeFeo, oldest sister Dawn, played some part in the shooting. Okay, this is why. We're going to break it down right here. Okay, the first 5 victims were on the second floor of the DeFeo house, right?
What page you on, bro?
Oh, it's Dawn, dude.
Oh, okay.
I was like, what the hell? Are you tripping me out? I was like, I can't hear you. So, okay. So the first 5 victims were on the second floor of the DeFeo house. Remember that. The first 2 victims, which is mom and dad. Yeah. Second floor of the house. So the house that they had was a 3-story building. Okay. Second floor. Okay. Remember that. On the household, there was a mom and dad. And then they were both shot twice in the master bedroom. Moving across to the other side of the house, the gunman then shot the 2 boys, Mark and John. So there were 4 people on the second floor. Mom, dad, 2 brothers. Okay?
Okay.
That's what it says. And then, completing the second shootings, 13-year-old Allison DeFeo was shot once in the head. That's a total of 7 shots at 140 decibels each. That's loud. Yeah. Okay? So how is it that nobody heard that? Is that before the gunman even started to ascend to the stairs, Don DeFeo's 3rd floor bedroom. Yeah. So look how loud that was. It was on the 2nd floor. Even if they all died, right, guys? The 3rd floor should have heard something. They would have been alarmed to move. And the weirdest part is that nobody was, drugged. There was nothing in the toxicology report. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. And then they moved up to the 3rd floor entirely unseated or drugged. And then it was like would not already have been altered to a gunman before they had even arrived at the 3rd floor.
Yeah, season 2 it says Dawn, like other victims, was found face down in her bed. Had Dawn, as some suspect, actually participated in the shooting herself, who had not only to be then shot by her brother and placed in her bed. So see, they're saying that so I'm thinking this is how this is how it went down.
Saying we're trying to break this murder down. It's kind of confusing.
So I'm thinking it's
even
this.
People couldn't even the people that actually found what happened, they couldn't understand it themselves.
So I think this is how it went, right? Like I'm still sticking with Don was the one that
John
did it.
helped, right?
But I think it's
not did it, but helped.
No, I think she did it because I think it went like this.
Well, remember, Butch, he said that he saw that a black kid gave him a gun.
That's what I'm saying. So
maybe she like was the mastermind of the murder.
No, but I think this is how it went down, right? So I think maybe let's say I think she wore her coat. She gave him the gun, right?
Yeah.
So then she obviously for him being drugged, you know what I mean? She took the gun back, shot everyone, because remember they also seen her leave the house with the rifle, throw it in the leg. So once she came back, I think Butch came to it and noticed what happened, and he thought he did it because he was drugged. Because like you were saying, he said somebody with a black figure handed me the rifle.
So you think that she handed him the gun?
Yes.
He was drugged.
She took it back.
She took it back.
Shot everyone, or shot everyone before, then handed them the rifle. So he thought that he did it, then took the rifle, threw it in the lake.
But there was no gun residue on her. There was no gun residue.
That's what I'm saying. So that's what's
all it says. Watch if I can pull it up. Give me a second.
Yeah, there was no gun residue on him either. He only had the blood from his sister, which is Don. So I think that's what I'm saying. So
he had blood splatter. I mean, he had gun residue on himself for sure. No, he did.
But the only one that he had was for his sister. Was the one shot that was fired at the end for her after he beat her and then placed her in the bed.
Yeah, you
get what I'm saying. So it's just kind of crazy how everything went down. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get you. Hold on, give a second.
You know what I mean? So that's what I'm thinking is that she was the one that did everything, and you know what I mean. He came to it, and then he killed her. Like, you know what I mean? Because you figure, if everybody was shot execution style, let's say he was possessed, right? And he got shot execution.
See, so look at this is what it says, right? So some investigators have speculated, right, that unburnt gunshot residue found on Dawn's body indicated that she may have handled a firearm. So it was unburned, right? So that means she didn't fire. So maybe,
she loaded it up.
Because it says, handle a firearm or ammunition. Although the prosecution expert at the trial, Alfred de la Pena, thought this could have occurred as a result of the muzzle flash when Dawn was shot. Okay. A lot of I don't believe this bullshit, dude. It can't. Exactly. How did this guy, the professional, right?
Yeah.
Not conclude every single detail. You know what I'm saying? Like, it had to be bullshit. A lot of times, this is what I feel.
And then
a lot of times, okay.
Hold on.
No, hold on. No, because I want to forget. No, hold on. No. This ain't a debate, homie. Let me talk. So, this is what I think, okay? If you see somebody, right, kill somebody, you already know he's guilty.
Yeah.
He murdered it right in front of you, right? Yeah. Okay, so if all the evidence points to Butch DeFeo, this fucking lazy asshole is gonna be like, it all points to him. It less work for me. Yeah. This guy's the one that did it. Sometimes they don't look all the way into it because if it all points to you,
it's more work.
It's you.
Yeah. But then you got to remember too.
And you think about it. What was it? 1970. When was it again?
It was 1964.
Okay, 1964. The forensics, is not as good as it was before. Tell you.
And then you got to remember too, is that back in the day, it was not what you can prove. It was how many people were against you. Well, so you figure if let's say somebody says, "Oh, I saw you," you know what I mean, killing this guy, you know what I mean, and 1,000 people say you killed him. Yeah, but they're not gonna do
not only that though. But if you think about it, like a lot of times, like religion and all that kind of stuff, like, oh, how could he do this? He's a sinner. This and that. Yeah, I'm pretty sure played a lot of part. In the morals of people, were stronger back then than they are now. You know. No, of course. So I feel like that could have put it apart. Yeah, that. But too. I feel like this guy, he didn't do his job correctly.
No, yeah, but then remember, back in that day, there was a bunch of corrupt.
That's what I'm saying. Why would she load the arm? Like a lot of saying, it's speculation because it was never proven.
Why? I honestly think
that's the thing.
Like I'm saying,
never proven.
I think she was possessed, and I honestly think the house was haunted, because.
But there's no proof though. But it's been around the center of paranormal activity.
No, there is proof, because also too, after the Lutzes move in, which was the second family to move into the house.
Yeah, but hold on. It was a hoax.
Can you listen?
Okay.
Can you listen?
Linda, listen.
Linda, listen. I think they actually did make it up. You know what I mean? They went in there trying to get famous. they ended up doing it. But
Yeah, and there was
when they-
books and movies all over.
but when they actually brought mediums, right? You know what I mean? There was this camera it's an iconic picture.
Yeah,
I'll post it up.
but 2 people were murdered there just 2
Hold
years
on.
before.
Yeah, but listen, there's a on the second floor, like you were saying, there's a picture that they cannot explain, that there's a little boy on the staircase when in the house there was only adults. There was no children.
Okay,
Nobody.
hold on. Okay, remember. So this happened 2 years before these people moved in, right?
Yeah,
Okay. Who was murdered on the second floor?
the kids.
2 little boys.
Yeah.
Okay,
No, I know.
There you go.
No, but
This is probably the spirits of the kids. That's what I'm saying. Like,
well, it can be, but they could. You know what I mean?
there you go. Myth busted.
No, it's not. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it has to be, bro.
No, and then like you know what I mean. A lot of I know the Lutzes when they moved in. I know it was a hoax, and they just making it up just for fame. You know what I mean? They succeeded. They made their money. You know what I mean? But I actually think that there is something in the house. You know what I mean?
Well, I'm not saying there's not. You know, normally when there's like, you know, a murder in a house, you know,
Yeah.
even if it like, or like a suicide, these spirits, like, you know, they roam around, you know, like they can't leave, you know, they're trapped sometimes. Like, remember 13 Ghosts?
But yeah, that was fake. But it's a good movie.
No, okay, no, but I'm giving an example.
Yeah,
Remember,
yeah.
if you guys haven't seen 13 Ghosts, guys, it's a good movie. But like, this guy was crazy. He wanted to make like this room, and he trapped 13 ghosts in there. And he like put these, you know, like weird symbols to keep them trapped.
Yeah.
And he was doing it all for a ritual, to complete a ritual. So he did all that and trapped all these nasty souls in there. I'm pretty sure sometimes, I want to say like people put like a freaking, you know, a symbol and then they trap it in there, you know. I mean, who knows? Maybe that could be possible.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure sometimes they get trapped in a house, you know, like they're not allowed to leave.
Yeah,
you know?
look, this is a picture. I'm showing you. I'll post it up, but this
Yeah,
is
yeah.
a picture.
Oh, okay,
I was
see that.
telling you about.
All right. Well, we'll make sure to post up all
Yeah.
the pictures. we
Yeah,
get.
and so you know, I get what you're saying. You know what I mean. But I honestly think that there is something in the house. I think that the Don, the oldest.
Well, now I
sister-
feel like maybe now after the murders.
No, I
but
think
I don't think
before. I think before because you know what I mean. Like, well, yeah, you can say
Maybe now, but not before. I think like now, yes.
Well, no, the only reason I think that it
Well,
was
sorry,
because the actual family reported, you know what I mean, like the daughter, right? She had you know what I mean, she would see things, you know what I mean. There was flies always in the house, you know, a bunch of stuff that obviously the movies didn't portray to what Ronald Jr.
Well, no, that was the
but-
Lutz. The Lutz. They said that
no.
flies and, like,
It
green
started.
slime and
It
stuff.
started with the DeFeos first. The DeFeos were saying, yeah, the DeFeos said that they saw, and then she had a pet pig, and you know what I mean. That's where they got all their info from.
Hold on, let me just look at. It says the account of young Lutz family being tormented by demonic pigs, which is stupid pigs. I mean,
Yeah.
I would say like a demon, you know, behemoth or something. Plagues of flies and green slime oozing from the walls terrified readers and moviegoers. All
Yeah.
the more so because it was labeled as a true story, right? But it was a Lux. It wasn't the DeFeos. These people were like liars, dude. It didn't. I read it. It wasn't true. And then it says one surprisingly little known fact that about the Amityville horror is that it was an admitted hoax. Sturz Lux and his wife invented the haunting with the help of a lawyer and literally Agent William Weber. It was a lie. It was a hoax. So that's not
Yeah.
true. It didn't happen with the DeFeos.
Oh, I thought it happened.
No,
with
it
the-
didn't. That's what I'm saying. It did
but I
not
guess
happen.
it-
Did not happen with the DeFeos, but that's what I'm saying. No, maybe after, obviously, yeah, I'm pretty sure. You know, it's haunted. It's probably still haunted to this day.
Yeah.
You know, because of all the murders. But if you think about it, though, a lot of the times, right? You know, we know with like, you know, there's people that there's been a lot of people for, you know, I wouldn't say millions of years, but thousands of years,
Yeah.
right? People have come and go and died.
Okay.
It's not like it is now, in the sense of, you know, we have our own burial ground for our, you know, our families.
Yeah.
Back in the days, somebody died, you bury them right there and there.
Mm-hmm.
You just dig a hole and throw them in there, right?
No, well, remember
Maybe
too, is that we
thousands
you
of years have passed.
know, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? These skeletons could be probably under like saying this apartment complex.
Yeah.
Maybe it was built under, you know, a graveyard.
Yeah,
Who
I
knows?
get you, yeah.
And I'm saying, like, I'm pretty sure there's a lot of houses that have, like, you know, their own skeletons. You get me?
So overall, right? What do you think Do you think the house was possessed prior to the shooting?
I don't think so. Maybe now it's like haunted, possessed. That's what I'm saying. That's why when I explained in the beginning, houses can be possessed, or they need actually a priest to come and exorcise the house. And some houses they don't want to do it.
Yeah. Well, look, you think it's not? I think it is, and I'm still going on the fact that nobody heard the gunshots.
Oh yeah, that's what's alarming is that nobody heard it.
Mean? So I honestly,
it happened
think
from the second floor,
yeah.
and then moved up to the third floor. You with the rifle, there was only one. You had to shoot each person. One time.
Mm-hmm.
One time. One time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. I think there was something. You know what I mean? That wasn't explained. You know what I mean? And I'm gonna continue with that.
Well, yeah. Well, the whole story around this murder is unexplained.
No. I get that, but I'm saying in the sense of like, I believe that there was some type of either possession or something. You know what I mean? That led them to do that. Maybe Ronald Butch wasn't, but I think the sister was.
You think the sister was possessed, and then convinced the brother that was high to help her in the murder or something?
Yeah, because
maybe you're drugged. The
only reason.
Maybe he could have thought. Sorry to interrupt you. Maybe if he was drugged at the time, so maybe he could have thought what he was dreaming was. I mean, what he was thinking was a dream. Yeah. Because remember, he hated his parents. So I'm pretty sure if somebody hates their parents, I'm pretty sure they thought a lot of times about it in their mind, killing them or their dreams.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. But I think overall, I think she did it, and that's why she was banged on the head. And
she was, yeah. There was brain splatter.
What I mean? So I think, maybe like let's say he did
trauma to the head.
Yeah, so I'm thinking that maybe he did want him dead, but he didn't want to actually go through with it. She did go through with it, and he had no other choice but to, and then you figure, let's say me, right? Let's say me and you, if I see something like if I notice you're possessed, you know what I mean, and like you're doing something you're not, I'm gonna bang the shit out of you until I make sure you're dead. You know what I mean?
But I mean, I'm not a zombie, dude.
No, I know, but I'm just saying.
I'm not a zombie, dude. What the hell?
But I'm just saying, you know what I mean? I'm not gonna risk it and be like, oh, I'm gonna shoot you once, maybe that'll go away.
Send me to the, you know the priest, I mean? Goddamn.
But I would like no, but I'm saying,
I know if I'm possessed, I'm not gonna come to the house, dude.
You know what I mean?
You're trying to kill me.
That's what I'm saying. You know what I mean? So that's why I'm sticking with that. You know what I mean? And
yes, I know what you mean.
You know what I mean?
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, final verdict. I think Don and him were together on it, honestly. Because look, one more theory, guys. Sorry, one more theory. And then we keep on going off of theories because I mean, obviously we explained to you what happened. Yeah,
so many.
You can keep go on and go on. But maybe what if she was, like abused by the father? In a certain way that she, you shouldn't abuse anybody.
Probably.
And, that, over the years, just like, because remember, their family was messed up over the years. And then, both of them hated him. Bam, that was a perfect murder.
Probably. But like I said, I still think that she's the mastermind. And
probably.
When Butch came to it, I think he realized that,
she's the mastermind, but she wasn't the one who carried out the execution.
I think she did.
No, because there was no gun residue on her. Pay attention.
Yeah, there was no noise either.
I know, but there was no burnt residue on her. Okay, there was residue of the gun, but unburnt, meaning that she could have loaded the gun.
I get what you're saying. So, I get what you're saying.
No, it's because you're saying.
I get what you're saying.
You're not.
But simple fact, can't explain. No noise was heard. So
yeah, but
if no noise was heard, don't you think that no residue can be found on them?
What? It's like you just, oh my god, it's like you're saying if a tree branch falls in the middle of the forest and nobody's around to hear it, does it make a noise? You just said that right now, bro, but pretty a different way. That's dumb. He had burnt gun residue on him. Anybody that commits a murder has burnt residue on them, and it comes out.
I get that.
She had unburnt. Hold on. This is what I'm trying to explain to you.
Do you know how long gun residue lasts on a person's body?
Am I a forensic scientist? No, I'm a podcaster that talks about murders, right?
So I'm letting you know. Gun residue, even if you wash it, burnt gun residue, right? When you go fire a gun, stays on you for 24 hours. So what if
they found he went right away? Why would he? That's what I'm saying. It's alarming too. He killed them, but then he went to a bar to say that somebody killed his family right away.
Okay, but we go back to the thing. See,
this is not a debate.
It is a debate.
It's not a debate. Remember what I'm saying? Okay, let me just finish this off, guys, because we're going to go back and forth about what this theory is it's kind of like mind-effing us, So
it is, dude. It is.
That's what I'm saying. Like, okay, she didn't have burnt residue on her gun, but she had unburnt, meaning that the speculation that she could have loaded the gun. So I feel like she loaded the gun for him, and he was the one to carry out the murders. Nope. That's the way.
No, it wasn't.
End of story.
All right, guys. We'll see you guys later.
Thank you for listening to our podcast, guys. Make sure to
Leave a
follow us
thumbs
on
up.
our Facebook, our
Our
Twitter, and our YouTube. Share it. Tell your family. Tell your friends. Tell your dog. Tell your cat. Tell anybody random. Tell them to follow us, even if they don't listen to us. We just need follows.
Yeah, and then I'm gonna put my PayPal so you guys can donate money.
And obviously, make sure to like it, the video, obviously.
Yeah,
And if you have any suggestions or you want to hear, a topic that you don't want to research yourself, but we'll do it for you and we'll talk about it, guys. All right.
All right,
And
until next time.
yeah, until next time, and then we'll most likely be doing the podcast this Sunday again. We'll figure out a topic. No, the next Sunday.
Oh.
We'll figure out what topic to talk about, guys, and we'll let you know.
Deuces.
All right.